gentleman from Potters for Peace, Ron Rivera, and he's from Nicaragua. And we were, it was sort of an accidental meeting, but he had a geranium pot that he had made with sawdust and clay and was dipped in colloidal silver. And he showed us, had been doing this for 13 years all over the world, how this could deactivate E. coli and other microorganisms. And I was quite taken with this, and very shortly we were able to assemble a board, which very, very fortunate to have Kamal Bawa and Chris Walter and Ed Scribner and others in this room be part of our beginning. And we very quickly realized that what we had was sort of a chrysalis of a very powerful system. This is just a handful of clay and a handful of sawdust that's been pressed in a hamburger press, practically, and then fired and dipped in a very dilute colloidal silver. This is the basis for what we now have operating in Nepal and India of about 10 micro businesses, and perhaps, I think we're around 33,000 of the actual water treatment systems that this is the heart of in Nepal and beginning to move into India. So the first 5 years of our life was learning how to become part of the community. We made many trips. Every 3 or 4 months we would go to Nepal and India, meet with people, meet with the potters. And we met with women's organizations who could help us distribute, and the whole system was very sustainable, made locally, and it was about a $5, and still is about a $5 system. So today we are at a point where we've had our 5 years experience. We've been able to collect some very good health data, and we've had a recent test in Vietnam that was very successful. And our new executive directors, who will speak shortly, Brett Giuliano and Elizabeth Friend, are now staging us for expanding this into India and elsewhere in the world. It's a most remarkable thing, and I have to tell a very short story before I turn over the podium. Not too long ago, Chris was in northern India near one of our sites in Varanasi, and was asked to give a demonstration of the system. And of course, the nearest water happened to be the Ganges, and a water test we had conducted earlier had shown about 230 or so thousand E. coli microorganisms in a 100 cc sample. So Chris, of course, had been working with us for a few years, so we had some level of confidence in this, and poured the water into the top of our unit. And then proceeded to drink it, and everyone waited for a bit, and Chris was still smiling. And so, but it really is, it's phenomenal how the power of the silver deactivates these microorganisms in such an inexpensive and simple way, enabling people to make a living, and more importantly to get rid of some of these huge medical problems of children, and especially in children. As you all may know, some 4.5 to 5 million children die annually from diarrheal disease. And water, as earlier this evening, water for living, water for growing is becoming nothing less than a crisis in this world. We really are faced with a very difficult future in trying to figure out how to be sustainable with our water on this planet. So I feel very fortunate to be connected with this and have so many wonderful people on our board, and Brett and Elizabeth now staging us for our next phase. So thank you very much.